Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us here today. We're joined by a number of public officials. First, I'd like to start by thanking the Greecetown Supervisor, Jeff McCann, and his team here at the Department of Public Works for hosting us here today. The Mayor, Malik Evans, our Monroe County Emergency Operations Manager, Tim Henry, is here. Our Department of Human Services Commissioner, Thalia Wright, Sheriff Todd Baxter, and his team are here as well. I see Dr. Shirley Green from the City of Rochester is here, and others who will be introduced in just a moment to talk about the winter storm that's approaching our region that we're going to face this weekend. And as many of you already know, we're facing a potential dangerous winter weather beginning really right now and continuing through this weekend. Governor Kathy Hochul this morning declared a state of emergency here in Monroe County and across the state due to the potential impacts of snow accumulation, blowing and drifting snow, and extreme cold temperatures. According to the National Weather Service, we can expect below freezing temperatures overnight, snow accumulations of 3 to 5 inches, and wind gusts reaching up to 40 miles an hour. These conditions will significantly impact road conditions, visibility, and public safety. In addition to that, the National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory until 10 a.m. Saturday, and then we'll upgrade that to a winter storm warning beginning at 7 a.m. Sunday, continuing through 7 a.m. Tuesday, with additional heavy snow and potentially significant accumulations expected on top of what we're receiving tonight and tomorrow. So with all this in mind, I just want to urge our community to stay prepared, stay informed, and most importantly, stay safe during these dangerous winter weather events. Now, this is nothing new to us. Our region goes through winter storms with some regularity. This will probably be the biggest storm we've had yet this season, so none of this will be a surprise to our residents, but it's important for people to be reminded of some common sense safety precautions to take this weekend. But we also have a few announcements to make in terms of the county response and some potential closures and some closures that are coming up already for Monday. So a couple of things to keep in mind. We're asking residents this weekend to please try to remain indoors as much as possible. If you must travel, please drive with extreme caution, especially as the snow and the wind intensifies. Highway crews from municipalities throughout the county will be out all weekend doing their best to keep our roads clear of snow and ice. So if you're out traveling, please stay clear of the snow plows, the salt trucks, and allow our public works crews throughout the county to do their work safely. And as a result of the anticipated conditions, we do have a couple of cancellations to announce. We've decided to cancel the Monroe County Senior Center Nutrition Program for Monday, January 26th. And all Office of the Aging van transportation, except for dialysis patients, are closed as well. As we prepare for the possibility of these cancellations, each senior center will be provided shelf-stable meals for their participants, though. In addition, the 2 satellite senior and veteran service centers that are located at Baytown Plaza as well as Greece Ridge Mall, the 2 satellite offices, they will also be closed on Monday as well. So as we prepare for the most severe winter weather in the last several years, I'd like to share a few reminders for our residents to keep you safe. First, please keep your phones charged and ensure that your vehicle has sufficient fuel. Keep space heaters at least 3 feet away from furniture, clothing, and drapes. If you must use a space heater, use an electric one with automatic shutoff and non-glowing elements. This is a great time to test your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors to make sure exterior vents are clear of snow and ice. Keep fire hydrants visible and clear of snow. Bring your pets indoors, and check on your elderly or disabled family, friends, and your neighbors to make sure that they have what they need to keep them safe over the next couple of days. I also would like to remind this community that Code Blue is in effect right now, and it will remain in effect throughout the weekend. If you or someone you know does not have a safe, warm place to sleep, help is available. No resident in Monroe County should be left out in the cold. Our Department of Human Services and community partners are conducting outreach efforts to unhoused individuals, offering them emergency shelter, passing out information, ensuring that they're aware of Code Blue shelter locations and transportation options. So I'd like to thank our team who's out working out on the streets right now, trying to engage with individuals, but we also need to get this information out through every vehicle possible. RTS is also providing free bus transportation to any Code Blue shelter. All you have to do is simply board an RTS bus, inform the driver that you need to get to a Code Blue shelter, and you'll be transported to one at no cost. Our Code Blue shelters include the Open Door Mission, located at 156 North Plymouth Avenue, and the RTS routes for that are 15 and 21. The House of Mercy, located at 285 Ormond Street, the RTS route, bus route number 3. The Saving Grace Ministries, it's a men's only shelter at 1140 Norton Street, RTS routes 4 and 5. In Oak Orchard at First Baptist Church, 124 Main Street, Brockport, and transportation is available there through the RTS On Demand. Individuals can also walk into 691 St. Paul Street for housing placement during office hours, or please call 211 or 442-1742 for after hours placements. So housing placements calls can be made to our partners at 211. And I want to be very clear, no one will be turned away from a Code Blue warming center. If you need a warm, safe place to stay, we will make room for you. If our shelters reach capacity, we will utilize local hotels to ensure that people are not left out in these conditions. We appreciate the efforts of all of our Code Blue partners, and we will do whatever it takes to make sure that no one is left out in the cold. So for any of our residents who are concerned about capacity at a Code Blue shelter, please know you will not be turned away. We will find accommodations to make sure that you have a warm place to stay. If you do go outside, wear several layers of loose-fitting, lightweight, warm clothing instead of one layer of clothing. The wind chill factor is going to be very low. Be sure to cover all your skin. Frostbite and hypothermia can occur within minutes in these extreme cold temperatures that we are expecting. Please avoid overexertion when shoveling snow. Overexertion can bring on a heart attack, a major cause of injury over the winter. So please use caution. Take breaks. Push the snow. Don't lift the snow. Just take some common sense steps. And lastly, before I turn this over, we ask our community, members of the media, to please stay informed. We're going to continue to post updates as forecasts develop. We'll post those through our social media channels, primarily on Facebook and X, and we'll keep the media informed of any significant weather developments or traffic impacts in the next coming days. So as we know from experience, things can change quickly during these types of winter events, particularly as the lake effect snow bands start to come in on the front and back end of the storm. Those conditions can change quickly. So in the event that I need to issue an additional state of emergency on top of the state's emergency order, or if we have to issue any travel advisories or travel bans, we will alert the media very quickly, but we will also utilize our social media channels as well. So we encourage you to connect with us on Facebook and X. Now, it's January. I said this at the beginning. We're no strangers to winter weather, but I really do just want to continue to urge everyone to look out for each other, avoid unnecessary risks, and take the steps needed to stay safe. Our first responders, our nonprofit partners, county, city, town officials, law enforcement, our highway teams, including here in the town of Greece, and throughout the towns and villages, they are working around the clock to respond to emergencies that may arise. So let's help them, okay? Let's do our part to help our first responders by doing our part to reduce risk and to prevent emergencies before they happen, so that they can do their job to respond to emergencies and to keep the roads as clear and safe as possible. With that, I will now turn it over to Rochester Mayor Malik Evans.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. County Executive, for your leadership. As many of you know, the Emergency Operations Center runs through the county. So we rely on the county for a lot of this work, particularly the Code Blue, which I want to underscore again. No one has to be in the cold, and if you can't remember anything any of us are saying during this press conference, you can dial 211. And also, Mr. Supervisor, thank you for hosting us here. Just a couple of announcements that I wanted to make as it relates to the city of Rochester. As you know, Rochester is, I know it is a walkable city, but we also have a lot of motorists. I want to urge everyone to please make sure that you give our snowplows the space to be able to do their job on the main city highway, byways, because that's going to allow us to be able to make sure that we keep our main arterials clean. You can check to make sure on what arterials have been cleared by tracking plow tracks, which is right on the city's website. You can check in real time the streets that have been cleared. If a street has not been cleared, please do not call 911, call 211 for that. And Karen St. Aubin, our Director of Operations, is here with me. We are also urging, as you know, in the city of Rochester, Rochester is one of the only cities in the country where we clear sidewalk snow, but we only do that when it reaches 4 inches. So we ask our residents and business owners to remember that per city code, it is your responsibility to keep sidewalks clear, both at businesses as well as homes. And we ask that you please check on your neighbors that might be disabled, homebound, or the elderly. So please make sure that you are doing that. We will be staffed 24 hours, and we will start the plowing with arterial streets before we get to the side streets. So the arterial streets is where we will be starting, and we have hired private contractors that will plow the residential streets when the snow reaches 3 inches or more. And very, very important, please, I can't stress this enough in the city of Rochester, because this is something that's very unique to the city of Rochester. It is especially critical that motorists follow posted alternate side parking regulations to ensure that snow plows can clear your streets. If a plow is not able to get down a residential street, you will be towed. And this is not a good time for you to be towed. So I'm going to plead with you to please make sure that you pay attention to the alternate parking signs that are on the streets. And also, I also want to just add some adjustments to hours that will be taking place. And again, all of this is on the city's website. We will close early today, our centers, all our centers. So parents, all our centers will close early today by 6 p.m. We're extending it to 6 p.m. because we want to make sure that the young people can get dinner. But after dinner, we will close at 6 p.m. 3 hour centers will be open on Saturday with a delayed start from noon until 4:30. Adams Street Hour Center at 85 Adams Street, David F. Gant Hour Center, 700 North Street, and Trenton and Pamela Jackson Hour Center at 485 North Clinton Avenue. Our center hours on Monday may be adjusted or delayed based upon what's going to happen with the Rochester City School District. I don't know if we're going to close schools yet, and I don't make that determination. The superintendent makes that determination. We will be having conversations with the superintendent at a later date because, as the county executive said, this is a very fluid situation. One thing we do know we're going to get, we don't know how much snow we're going to get, but one thing we do know we're going to get is we're going to get cold. And if you have been outside already, you're feeling it. So we know that that's going to happen. Rochester Public Libraries will maintain normal hours of operation on Saturday, but they're already closed on Sunday, and any changes to library hours on Monday will be announced as the weekend progresses. The county executive already went over all of the safety tips, but I do want to add just 2 other ones. Generators must be placed outside to avoid exposure to carbon monoxide. And also, just to reiterate one other point the county executive made, please limit your time outside and cover any exposed skin. And then last but not least, power interruptions. You never know, that can be a possibility. The county or the city does not control power. So it is very important that you call RG&E to report any power interruption at 1-800-743-1701. That's 1-800-743-1701. And like I said, we are giving you a ton of information, but if the media can just stress to people that if they don't remember where a cold blue place is, if they don't remember where they need to go to get warm or where to get food or any of those things, 211 works countywide. So remember to dial 211. Lastly, these are very dangerous wind chills that we're having. please take this seriously. We don't want to see anyone get hurt during this event. I know that sometimes we do forecasts and we have to change it and we say, oh, it wasn't that bad, but it is better to be prepared than to be caught off guard. If it is not necessary for you to be outside, don't be outside, but please, please listen to the guidance that you will get from the state, county, the city, and your various towns. And with that, Mr. County Executive, am I handing it over to the sheriff? I hand it over to Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. This is it's not about paranoia. This is about preparation, right? This is time to prepare. We got about 48 hours for the storm onsets, and get prepared. Prepare your family. Prepare your own household. Prepare your vehicle. And that's the direction that we're giving folks right now. Just be prepared, not paranoid. We are hardy people here in Western New York. We actually enjoy these storms, I think. We get ready for them every year. And this is just another test of our fortitude as we move forward. But you got to be prepared for what's coming for us. And if it doesn't come, no big deal. Just another chance to practice. As far as the County Sheriff's Department, we are going to be deploying resources. We've already dispersed our four-wheel drive vehicles across the county. They're dispersed. Our new ATVs, we've got 2 new tracked ATVs since the blizzard in Buffalo. They are dispersed across the county to do rescues. We don't want to do rescues, but if we're doing a rescue, that means someone has not prepared. So we'd rather not do rescues. We also have our snowmobile unit activated. The sleds are already pre-positioned, and they'll be activated Sunday morning if they need to go out and assist people getting to work. If they're a critical person in our community, like a nurse that needs to get to the hospital, we're prepared to pick them up and get them there. We'd rather not, because of the prior preparation that we're going to do in the next 48 hours. Last thing is our Regional Investigation or Operations Center is active throughout the whole weekend, monitoring traffic flows, monitoring traffic patterns, providing that information to the county real time so we make decisions on the future and what we're going to do as a county as a whole. But now is the time to prepare. We actually look forward to these weather patterns. We're excited about this. We've been preparing for this a long time as a sheriff's office, and we're just asking the community to do the same thing in your own sphere of influence. And I'm going to turn it over to the town supervisor, Supervisor McCann.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff. And thank you to County Executive Bello, Mayor Evans for being here. Just want to echo what a lot of people have already said. Our DPW crews are going to be working long hours, often overnight, in very difficult and dangerous conditions, and we just want to thank them. They're going to be leaving their families and making sure that our residents can get to where they need to go. In our town, Greece, we're responsible for clearing hundreds of lane miles of roads so that people can travel safely. Our crews are monitoring and closely following the forecast and will be ready to respond as events dictate. We'd like to remind everybody to give the plows plenty of space as they're actually doing their work in these during the snow event. We ask that people stay back at least 100 feet, and please do not pass or tailgate plow trucks. The plows move slowly on purpose to do their job safely and effectively, and please be patient. The roads will improve. We are going to get to them all, but it's going to take time. Again, I would like to thank our DPW commissioners here with us, Corey Gurnett, and also to the outstanding DPW employees here in the town of Greece and everywhere throughout the county who are going to be working very hard to make sure that we're all safe through this winter event. Thank you. Now I'll turn it back over to the county executive.
Okay, thank you. Thanks to all our participants today. Before I turn over to questions, one quick reminder for the media. As we talked about the Code Blue shelters, it's available on our website. You can see all that. But just a reminder to the community, in the event of an emergency, you call 911. If it's a non-emergency where you're looking for access to shelter, for food, it's a non-emergency situation, 211, our partners there, you can utilize them, and they can connect you to the proper resource. Okay? So with that, we could take any questions if the media has any. Sure.
One, are you guys still dealing with the salt shortage here? And two, if you are you planning to do that?
I'll let the city or town.
Yeah, I'll say in
talk?
the city. In the city, we are not dealing with a salt shortage at all. We keep it quiet. Last year, we actually lent some salt out, but don't. Jeff's looking like, okay, give us some. No, but right now we're good. We're still good. And like I said, this has been a very tough winter, but we've been able to preserve the salt that we have.
You're good? Okay. Yep. Yes, we don't have a concern this weekend for that. Yep. Any other questions? We are. Yeah, we're just asking people. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. We don't have a travel ban or anything like that right now. Let's just use common sense as we start the storm. And if that condition changes, we will let people know. The way this works, and we manage that, is right now I've asked for a partial activation of the Emergency Operations Center, and our Emergency Operation Chief is here with us today, Tim Henry. So there'll be a partial activation, which means there'll be a crew there that's monitoring, is in constant contact with our towns and with the sheriff department, and we'll be able to get reports back on road conditions, things like that. They also monitor power outages from there. And so if the road conditions change or something like that and we have to issue orders, we can do that very quickly, and we'll be monitoring that pretty much hour by hour throughout the weekend. Yeah. But, let's give the plows the ability to do their job, because there are going to be people who have an emergency and need to be out. We have essential workers that are going to get to work, right? You work in a hospital. You work, a lot of essential workers are going to be working all weekend. You work in a grocery store. We need to make sure they can get to and from work safely, while the plows are also doing their work. So if you do not have to be out, I would advise, let's just stay home and enjoy the snow, right? It's going to snow. Enjoy it from your living room. Watch it outside. Let the crews do what they have to do so that we all get safely to the other side of the storm. That is correct. Countywide. Yep. Countywide. Yep. Yep. And same with the RTS. If you need a ride to a Code Blue shelter, just get on a bus and just tell that bus driver you're looking for a Code Blue shelter. They'll take you right there, free of charge. Okay. So.
My question's for the sheriff here.
Sure.
Curious. I know you mentioned a couple of the different resources that you guys utilize this time of year during heavy winter events like we're expecting. But curious to know about the training the deputies undergo to be able to handle this. Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, in particular, our snowmobile unit, they're trained and certified by New York State. There's actually a New York State certification course. We send our snowmobile unit operators there. Like I said, we pre-position our sleds across the county in case they're needed for rescues or to get to a priority call that we might not be able to get to a vehicle. And our ATVs, if you will, they're tracked vehicles that are enclosed heated cabins. So if we have to rescue someone and get them to an EMS, they can be in a warm facility, if you will, a warm compartment of that vehicle. And then the rest of our units, that's exactly what we're doing right now. Just met with the chief deputy and the undersheriff, and we're doing our prior preparation right now for the weekend. Do we have enough units out? Do they have enough vehicles? Do they got warm clothes themselves? They're taking care of their home life so they can do their training and what they train to do. And that's be out on the roads and take care of whatever unfolds in front of us. I just want to emphasize one point on the snowplows. We say stay behind. Just think, if you pass a snowmobile, or excuse me, you pass a snowplow, and you get stuck right in front of that snowplow, you've theoretically shut down that road and that expressway, right? And that snowplow is not going any further forward because you're stuck in front of them. It's just that 3 extra minutes you're going to gain from going from one side of the county because you passed a snowmobile. You're going to shut down a whole interstate by that 3 minutes. I mean, just take your time, get behind the snowmobile, enjoy that they're clearing the road for you, and take your time and get off of your next exit. That's all we're asking. Take that extra 3 minutes, and it'll save the rest of us. These first responders got to get to those calls, and if the roads are closed, we're not getting to the call. Thanks.
Oh, well, the airport, yeah, they have their own crews there at the airport that are on the runways, plowing the runways. Obviously, the determination is made by the airlines, right, what for flights that are canceled. We just encourage people to keep an eye out if they're flying in and out of Rochester this weekend, to just check the arrivals and departure board for flights that may be canceled. But those plow crews, they work just like out in the towns and municipalities. They work around the clock to keep those runways clear, because you can't allow a buildup. Just even if there aren't any planes taking off for landing, they still got to keep plowing those runways to make sure it doesn't build up. So they'll be working around the clock to do that. Oftentimes, too, even if the storm ends up not being as bad here, that's potential. A lot of times, arrivals and departures are delayed because of activity at other airports. So even departures here, our airport might be fine, but if your plane needs to get to Rochester from another hub and it's stuck in that hub, it can't get here to pick you up and take you. So we do encourage, even if the storm looks like it's not going to be as bad here at the airport, we encourage everybody, please look ahead, keep checking that website and your flight status. Yeah. Okay. Did anybody have a follow-up, or we're good? Yeah. You want to do one? Yeah, that's
Yeah, the question was about emergency responders. Very challenging. You know, this weather slows everything down, right? It slows our preparation. It slows our response time. It slows recovery from a scene. Just think about a motor vehicle accident, probably clogging up an intersection, right? Everything's going to go much slower just to get that scene processed and get the vehicles out of that intersection. So everything needs to slow down. So the less people we got to, you know, possibly rescue or go to different vehicle accidents. So less people on the road, less people out, just helps the whole system to keep up. Less snowplow operators got to negotiate with. Less people that are going to get motor vehicle accidents. Less people that are going to get stuck on the side of the road that we have to go with an ATV possibly to get out. So the whole thing slows down, and that's what we tell our folks to do. To also slow it down. Just go as far and as fast as you can go to get to that scene. We don't need to rescue a first responder, right? So we have these coaching and counseling sessions all the time just to remind people we have to be safe to help other people. So take your time as you're going to these calls and get there safely so you can do your job when you get there. Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe this weekend, and please check in as things develop, and we'll put more out to the media if the conditions warrant it. So thank you.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.